this is Jessica DeMassa in the GuideWell Insights Lounge. I'm here at Singularity University's Exponential Medicine, and our guest in the lounge right now is Jan Fossat. He is the Vice President of Labs at Click. So we were talking a little bit before the interview about some of the work you're doing in the labs. So what kind of projects do you have going on?
So we work on three areas. One of them is immersive technology, anything that's around augmented reality, virtual reality, and the ability to take somebody, a patient or doctor, and train them into an immersive environment. And we're doing research on that. They're using neuroscience and electroencephalography and tests, like actual research. Our second domain of the research or interest is disease modeling and simulation. So this is taking data, adding the time domain when we measure a patient blood pressure or muscle activity or anything you measure from a patient, measure it longitudinally, create a function out of that, and then see if we can use it to replicate a disease so that we can create empathy or maybe diagnostic application.
Okay, so basically you're using the patient's data to kind of build something that would simulate what it would be like to have that disease, so somebody could... Okay.
Exactly. So as an example, for example, we created a device that allows you to feel Parkinson patient tremor.
Oh, wow.
So I can record the tremor in real time from a patient, and I can pass that to a non-patient and have that non-patient feel the same tremor in real time. We're just passing that data across.
That's amazing. And so what kind of feedback are you getting from the non-patient about the sensation or about how it helps them, I guess, to empathize?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, it's there was some talks yesterday about this, about seeing an avatar, seeing something done to you. You truly understand what the patient experiences.
Right.
Watching a patient have tremor is one thing. Trying to button your shirt with tremors is a completely different experience. So we don't even have to tell people how to feel empathy. We just say, here, try that, and then see what happens.
And we've been hearing a lot about empathy and really redefining the care delivery process to build more empathy into the system. So that's wonderful work. So I want to ask you, I mean, I know you have your fingers in a lot of different pots in the lab. And so what kind of exponential technologies do you think are really driving change in healthcare moving forward?
I think right now it's really machine learning, computer intelligence, artificial intelligence, whatever we call it. It's the ability of computers to do things that we just can't. Our brain has obviously reached its maximum capacity for now. It's not exponential, but the complexity of medicine is exponential. So we've sort of reached peak brain ability, so machines would help us with that. And this would be transformative.
It will be. Yeah. So what aspect of the healthcare industry do you think is ready for disruption next?
So it's... well, it would be easier to say which part is not. Because,
well, that's good. Let's talk about that.
Because when you look at the framework of when something is ready for disruption and you look at medicine, all of it. There's literally no part of medicine that is done well. The only thing exponential is the cost. But I think right now we have to approach it by what technologies do we have right now? So we're inventing new things all the time, but let's see what do we have right now, and if we use it differently, we can transform medicine. And I think that's how you approach disruption. It's not by inventing something new because we do this already. It's more by saying, what if we stop doing this way and we did it somewhere completely differently and save, a lot of time, patient lives and things. So sometimes it's the low-hanging fruit. I was lucky to with Click. We've been participating with John Brownstein in Boston in the development of circulation, which is it's a non-emergency medical transport system, which is Uber technology for patients who need not an ambulance but not a taxi. It's simple. You don't need to invent anything. You just sort of think differently and you have something. So that's one approach. On the other hand, I think medical education and how we approach medicine, we think of medicine as a way to treat a disease. There's a great metaphor by, I think it was June Yoon yesterday, of a whack-a-mole approach to and I think if we start thinking of the concept of disease and health differently, so this starts at medical school, educate people differently, just completely change the paradigm, go to first principle of what is medicine. This would also be transformative. And once again, we don't need technology for that. We just need to think tangentially, differently.
Right, so it's really a paradigm shift. Our thinking needs to be disrupted more or less.
We need to do more research on how we come out with ideas.
So I would like to get your perspective on this from Click. So I mean, obviously you're researching things, you're developing them in the labs, and you have all these technologies that are kind of getting ready to go to market, and be integrated into the health system. How can we help more rapidly accelerate the pace of bringing those solutions to market? What needs to be done to get them there faster?
Yeah, so this is a tough problem because there's so much energy in inertia. There's just a massive inertia system. So thinking about medicine differently is one approach. I think doing much smaller trials is an approach. The idea of the standard monolithic clinical trial that takes that much, that long, where everything is big and slow, needs to change. And we're starting to see that. We are in a lab are doing small clinical research project where we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We're just going to look at that one little thing. It's incremental, because after 3 or 4 of those incremental, then we'll have the exponential. So it's, I think, the research aspect of how we conduct research, as opposed to trying to find the absolute truth. We just have to accept that everything's in beta continuously, and you upgrade it.
I love that. Everything is in beta continuously.
Yeah.
Well, Jan, thank you so much for joining us in the Insights Lounge today. It's wonderful to get your perspective and hear about how you're actually taking some of these solutions and bringing them to market. So thank you for joining us. Thank you everybody for watching. This is Jessica DeMassa at Singularity University's Exponential Medicine, reporting from the GuideWell Insights Lounge. Thank you for joining us.